Welcome to the channel and welcome to Atherton Tablelands. What a nice afternoon. It's beautiful. That's why I thought I'd stop up on top of the hill here. It's a rest area that caters for tourists, and as you can see, the view is, and I'm just going to flip it over so you can see in front of me and not see my mug, is out towards the tablelands there. And I'll just bring it up a bit closer and you can see it's very spectacular, and it leads in to the mountain range, which over that mountain range you have the start of the Queensland outback and a gateway to adventure. And I'll get out there this year in a few months' time because it's starting to cool down a bit, and there's some great places out there to visit. And I'm going to go out and do an old volcano out there and get up on that old volcano because the view up there is quite stunning, and it does look over the Queensland outback area out there where there's a lot of lava tubes, etc., and behind me that you see there are, and if you go over to the distance over here, that is the remnants of an old volcano, believe it or not. It's full of them up here. A lot of people don't know about that, especially tourists, because tourists are ushered towards the rainforest as well. I'm just gonna sit down. The rainforest, as well as obviously the reef. That's a big appeal in Cairns because I'm about an hour and a half drive, up to 2 hours, depending on the traffic up the range. Outside of Cairns. But today's topic, this is an extension on the other one I uploaded a few days ago, a week ago, whenever it was, on the gig economy. And I did touch on, driving platforms, share ride platforms they call themselves. In particular, I just touched briefly on Uber, and today I'm going to talk about Uber, in particular the characters that you cart around. And I'm not talking about all of those lovely folk that I picked up, the tourist folk that is, because they're all full of energy, full of fun. They're on a holiday, so 9 out of 10 times they're great people, and they want information off you, so you usually have a really good experience with those people. I'm talking about the characters you cart around, the local characters, and those that are very unscrupulous, and dealing with those type of characters and how eventually it does wear you down. It may be, in a sense, a little bit of adventure at first, but that adventure soon wears off when you deal with the personality types of these people. So today I'm going to get into this topic about how Uber will drive you nuts after a while, especially when you're carting this particular type of person around. And I'm going to get into it. Let's get into it now. So, constant interaction with colourful characters, let's call them, unscrupulous type, the dark side, whichever way you want to spin it. You're going to come across these people, and then you're going to act, in my case, and it's an unsuspected position you get put in at the time, but you soon realise what you're doing and how the dark side, let's call it, operates, especially when they're trying to get around, police, and that is carting product around in your car with the people carrying it as a drop-off. And that's something I picked up on in my first experience with that situation, when I had two people jump in the car, and straight away, I could smell two bad fish. And of course, they're whispering, they're on their phone, and the fare itself, what they'd given me, was a round trip. And when you get to these locations to pick these people up, you know what type of people these people are, and you know what you're carrying in your car. So then you become, as I put it to a lot of friends, you're carting around, products that make you happy, put it that way. if you know what I mean. I don't really want to get flagged on these. Not that I'm a big channel, but I just don't want to get flagged. So you're carting a product around, you've got these characters in your car who have bad attitudes. They may be high or coming down off a low, and you got to be really careful what you say to these people, because these people, I guess they're like a loaded gun. They're like a loaded gun in the sense that one wrong word and they go off. And I have had that happen to me. And it was probably on the second or third occasion that I had that issue, and that really turned me off Uber. And I guess that was one of the downfalls, plus others that I've mentioned in the last video. Check it out, The Gig Economy. Like, sub, and subscribe, please. I thought I always forget to say that. But going back to the story, with these type of people, you got to be very, very, very careful. Yes, I was able to ban that particular person, but then a week later, I got the same couple just under the lady's name and not his. So then I put a ban on them again and reported it. And then a week after that, I got a similar sort of character sorry about that, with the same issue. So then it becomes a problem. What becomes is something like a novelty, it was at first, and a bit of a laugh, a bit of a giggle, then becomes an issue, because you don't want to be in that situation where that you have to deal with these characters. And then after time, when you're carrying their product around to deliver it in a dodgy neighborhood and then take them back to another dodgy neighborhood, which may be a different address, plus the carry-ons, the chaos that's around that half an hour job, which you're getting paid not very much for, you start to think about, why am I doing this? Why am I carting around illegal products in order to avoid the police? Because, I mean, the police know, but they're not going to pull up every Uber driver. They realise what these people are doing. They're not taking their own vehicles. They're taking Ubers in order to, I'm just going to sit down. In order not to get, well, I think they're not going to get caught. In most cases, they don't. There are cases out there. You just Google it, you find where Uber drivers unsuspectingly have been caught in that issue with these lunatics in their car when they're carting around an illegal product, and they're becoming a courier as such, and they're involved in that, and then the reports, the statements, and all the rubbish that goes with that. And sorry, this is what happens with Uber. So you don't sign up for that, and then suddenly you get these characters that turn up in your car out of the blue, and then suddenly you're driving around acting as a courier for people that are selling and carrying illegal product. As I said, I don't want to be flagged on this. And then you do this after time, because I was doing that, Uber that is, for about 6 to 8 months, whatever it was. And on at least a dozen or more occasions, I had these and other types of people that were doing this type of activity. And eventually it wears you down. It gets to the point where you say to yourself, really? I'm getting paid $25, 20 odd bucks to do this, to be around these people? And this is why I decided to say something about this issue with Uber and the characters that you have to drive around with, and it wears you down. There's no mental health plan. There's no benefits. I've mentioned this in the last video. Check it out, please. The Gig Economy. And those who know will know. And eventually, and other types of characters that you get, the local characters, tourists are usually great. These local type of characters, it wears you down, and you get getting paid very little for it, to put up with their antics, with their bullshit. And in some cases, it becomes dangerous. And that's where it started to eat at me, because I wasn't getting that amount of money. The amount of money you should be getting, that is. So Anyway, I just thought I'd make this a brief one. It's just a bit of a follow-up from the gig economy I did, and some of the reasons that I gave up Uber, although I only did it on the weekends. If you watch my past video, you'll know. But even that was enough. Even that did my head in. I've talked to other people that have done Uber, either full-time or part-time, and they all come up with the same issues, besides what I've mentioned on the last one, wear and tear, no benefits, is the characters, the colourful characters that you get in your vehicle that you have to put up with. If they're in your vehicle for 1 hour, I've had long trips where I've had these really difficult characters and I've had to put up with them. And then I've had other characters that have put in complaints, because sometimes you're walking on eggshells to keep your rating up. You want a 5-star or whatever it was at the time in order for the algorithm to hit you so you get more work. So you're dealing with really, difficult behavior at times in order to get a very, very low salary. So as I said in the last one, is it worth it? No, it's not. I feel for you guys out there who are still doing it, taxi drivers, Uber drivers, rideshare drivers. I really do. You do a great job. Keep your head up. I respect you. I would never in any way be a dick in one of your cars, although there are some crazy people out there, but I know what you guys are, the pressure you guys are under. Anyway, so wherever you are in the world, I hope this resonates, it maybe triggers you. Write a comment, share it, subscribe, all those good things that I've said already that I should say more of. Until next video, peace out.